This video is about the lore of the sea creature heroes, also known as the meranths. I use the lore of the Dota wiki, references to the comics, and voice line as my guideline. I will not go in depth on gameplay or strategies. To support me, like and share this video with your fellow gamer boys and girls from the internet. First off, we have the term meranth, also known as the mer. The mer are inhabitants of the sea. Meranth is not a species name, but a collective name for the sea dwellers. They call land dwellers landlings. They do maintain treaties with the nations of men, even if they have silly nicknames for them. The meranth are spread out across diaspora. That would be here on the terraplane. This is an unofficial fan-made map, link in bio. The different tribes are constantly at war over territory and have complex political agendas, like Game of Thrones, but underwater. Next up, we have the species, the Slytherin. Slaughter is the best known Slytherin. What all Slytherins share is a humanoid upper body with a fish-like lower body and head fins on both sides. Some Slytherin possess bioluminescent lure lights dangling from their heads. It's unsure why. If they are bigger than the anglerfish, it's not to lure fish that will be used for food. So they use it as a headlight? If they are deep sea Slytherin, they would have adjusted to the lack of light. A headlight would be quite ineffective. Because the lore states they are accustomed to the deep sea, so therefore Slytherin are sensitive to light. So maybe they are luring mates? It would be an underground or rather underwater rave party. Nevertheless, the Slytherin can surface and travel on land. Slytherin are also able to quickly grow back lost appendages, like a part of their tail or head fins. On occasion, the Slytherin will hunt sea dragons, or in my book, sea serpents. Check out this video for dragon species. They use the sea dragon's part for armor and weapons, like Slaughter, who has a sea dragon's basher. Then we have the Naga. Naga Siren is the best known Naga. Just like the Slytherin, the Naga has a humanoid upper body and a snake-like lower body. The Naga may also be considered part Slytherin, although they appear to form a subspecies within that classification. Unlike Slytherin, such as Slaughter, most Naga have more human heads and facial features. It's unclear if they wean their young and have mammal-like quality or more fish quality and lay eggs. How odd the Dota lore doesn't mention anything about reproduction. We can only imagine, and some of us imagine way too much. My guess is that they develop more human-like traits like merman, mermaid, or sirens to lure seamen into the water to have a snack. Maybe. Maybe that's how the lore started. The last known species are the Leviant. The best known Leviant is Tidehunter. The Leviant is an underwater race of giant, reptilian, human-like beings. The Leviant worship the god of the deep, whereas the Slytherin and Naga look up to the stars and moon for religious guidance. Maybe their difference in religious causes conflict. Swen is coincidentally half meranth. The lore states his mother was a meranth and his dad was a pervert for that matter. But referring to meranth is referring to all mere people. So my guess that he's part Leviant because of his muscular build like Tidehunter. Now a bit about the army system for the Slytherin. The Slytherin Guard is not a species of the mare, but most important to the Slytherin and Naga. It's a guard army corporation protecting the Slytherin and Naga. In this army-like organization, there's a faction called the Deep Ones. The Deep One is a faction charged with guarding the Deep Vault, which contains the vast treasures of sunken temples. The temples in the Deep Vault were once high up in the mountains, and no one remembers what that nation of temples even called itself. Among the Deep Ones are elite members, the High Sworn. They observe a strict oath, repeated before battle. No Slytherin may fail. Honor is highly valued. Should one of the High Sworn fail in their duties, they are banished until they can fill their obligations. Slithis, the Naga Siren, is one of the High Sworn. I can imagine it being like a high-ranking officer of the Deep Ones. Another elite unit of the guard is called the Flood, like a special scout SEAL team, and is led by the First Spear, a position currently held by Slaughdar. It's the most prominent member and is sent out to scout and hunt down those who would thieve from the treasury. So, in short, we have the Slytherin Guard, the faction the Deep Ones, with the highest rank being the High Sworn, protecting the vault, the faction the Flood, being scouts led by the First Spear. The Dota lore sometimes confuses the terms, but now you know better. Members who betray the guard are sent to the Dark Reef prison and are cast out like Slithies, the Naga Siren. Slaughter has been rumored to be a prisoner of the Dark Reef prison once. This was my video about the lore and the sea creatures heroes, also known as the meranth. To support me, like and share this video with your fellow gamer boys and girls from the internet. Slaughter is the most prominent member